Hallo und herzlich willkommen hier in Cyberstage der Most Wanted Music 2021. Hier ist JP und jetzt switche ich wieder Sprache, weil der nächste Vortrag wird auf Englisch gehalten. So, welcome back to Most Wanted Music 2021. Here is JP, and now we have another topic. We're gonna get to the next session, and the next session is very, very interesting. We are gonna talk about the healing power of sound, which means also how our body, our mind reacts to the sound frequencies, and also how you can, in a sort of a way, feel closer to nature using the frequencies of sound. But to understand more about it, we are going to have Monika Demmler, which is an artist, a scholar, and has had a whole PhD about this topic. So I will say I leave the stage to Monika, and then we're gonna see us for the Q&A at the end.
Okay, hello. Thank you for the introduction, JP, and thank you so much for having me. I'm going to talk a little bit about the healing power of sound frequencies, and I prepared a little presentation for you, which I'm going to share now. How can you see this? Yes? Okay. Yes, here's my topic again, the healing power of sound frequencies. Right, first I want to say a little bit about myself. I wrote my PhD on biophilia and the aesthetics of blues, jazz, and hip-hop music in African American prose fiction. And during that research, I came across sound frequencies. And then later on, it really became more and more interested in it. So that I ended up getting more into the topic, do more research, and simply use it for my own music, which I'll show you later a video. All right, good. So I structured this presentation like I want to talk first a little bit about ancient times to the 21st century. What are sound frequencies exactly? What is the healing power of sound? Why is it, in my view, important for the future? And why is it so powerful? And for me, it is because through it I can connect with nature through sound. And then I'm going to show you one of my music videos, Veronica. It's a slow song in which I embedded in a certain frequency. And yes, and then I'm gonna talk a little bit about what my thoughts, like how we improve the future that we right now shaping through sound. Right. So we have sound frequencies were already used in ancient times. They have been people worked with it for different reasons until now, and Pythagoras was one of the first one. We have the sound in the beginning, like the beginning of creation, or like the planets, the sea, like their sounds have like a very, I don't know, subconscious, powerful effect on us. And Pythagoras, he called the sound that is very natural. It's like soul adjustments, or when you listen to certain sounds, like your soul calms down and harmonizes again. And in ancient Greek, human beings were actually using sound therapy, as you can see in this picture, and then it was mostly used for mental disorders, which I think is very interesting, especially like looking at our society with lots of problems in the mental realm. In the Middle Ages in India, they started Ayurveda, also with sound healing. It's always been used also to ward off evil spirits, and later on, and like military troops, like used other effects of sound. Nowadays, in the 21st century, one recent example is like psychedelic rock music. I wrote an essay about it, which you can find on my website, where sound functions as more as a shamanistic technique, which leads to ecstasy and transcendence, like opening your pineal gland to become one with your universe and feel like more at ease and where you belong, and in the audience like is transported to a certain place. They call it like sometimes a space between the headphones. And also hereby in psychedelic rock music, a disturbed mind can experience psychological healing benefits. In recent years, music therapy and research has started again, like workshops, lectures, institutes, and magazines have became into fashion. And on a global scale, people have been preoccupied. Oh, sorry, there's a mistake. There's only one global scale. Is the healing place on the level of the brain? Like, I think it's already very common that older people can be healed, like their memory, like Alzheimer can be healed. And yes, like all in all, we have like, I see on the internet, like sound baths offered, like during the pandemic, it became more and more, I saw more and more things. So yeah, next basic question, what are sound frequencies actually? So I try to make it simple. Like, first of all, sound moves a medium such as air or water as waves, like you have these waves. And these waves are measured in terms of frequency and amplitude. And the frequency is sometimes also referred to as a pitch, but is the exact number of times per second that a sound pressure wave repeats itself. Like you can have like these little like waves or a wave like this. So this is basically what the sound frequency is. And the amplitude is the relative strength of sound waves. This is also the like amp, from here, amp, guitar amp, like the loudness or volume, but it's the strength of the wave itself. For example, a drum beat has a much lower frequency than a whistle, or a bullfrog call has a lower frequency than a cricket. Like the lower the frequency, the fewer the oscillations, and high frequencies produce obviously more oscillations. And the units in which we measure them is called hertz. Humans with normal hearing can hear sounds between 20 hertz and 20,000 hertz, and frequencies above 20,000 hertz are known as ultrasound. When your dog tilts his head to listen to imaginary sounds, which you can't hear, he is then tuning into ultrasonic frequencies, and they can be as high as 45,000. For example, bats, they can hear among the highest frequencies of any mammal up to 120,000 hertz. Also insects, for example, I discovered like 2 nights ago in my hotel room there was a spider, and the spider was really big, and I was like, oh God, I just want to sleep. What am I doing? And then I searched on the App Store, and I found like, oh God, there's a sound frequency which I can turn on, and which like I couldn't hear it, but the spider could like hear it. The sound was so not discernible for human beings, and I put the phone next to me, and I hope like it helped. Like anyway, I haven't seen a spider again. At the other end of the spectrum, you have very low frequency sounds. They are called the infrasounds. For example, elephants make like that very low sound, and also some sounds of elephants we are not able to hear. And low frequency, they travel very long distances. Okay, just gonna keep going. Sound wave frequencies can be measured with a frequency counter or with a spectrum analyzer. You can just use your phone, like that's what I do, and I have an app. This is called the Audio Spectrum Analyzer, and with it, you can measure frequencies of sound. Okay. Healing power of sound. What is the exact healing power? Why does sound have such an amazing effect on our body, on our mental health, on our soul? I want to show you first some benefits of healing. The methods which you can make these sounds are like tuning forks, gongs, singles, solfeggio frequencies, binaural beats, which you can find on YouTube, or vocal toning. And what I do, I have my own method. I use like certain pedals, like for the guitar, to distort the guitar, or synthesizers. Right. So benefits are basically you can do physical and mental healing, like reducing stress or boosting energy levels, enhance the work performance, or focus on concentration. Sound can shift frequencies from low energy of guilt and fear to higher vibrations of love and joy. And sound healing is the use of sacred instruments or the voice, or my examples, to release energetic blockages, inducing a state of ease and harmony in the body, says Marta Collard. Yes, here I have again the methods, like there's these huge gongs, or especially Asian techniques they use. What we have, the bowls that you can like touch and right, good. Next one are solfeggio frequencies. Like these are the frequencies that I personally am most interested in and that I can measure. Like there are 7 frequencies. They have been used like since ancient times, which I think they are very powerful and you can measure them. So we have here the 396. This is like the frequency that cleans like a feeling of guilt, or it helps you to overcome obstacles. Like when you want to do a project, like you can get more energy. Also, fear. It can also turn grief into joy. And 417 hertz, this is a beautiful frequency. This is known to wipe out all the negativity inside us. but it can also bring change, and it marks the start of new beginnings in life. The 5 to 8 hertz, this is the love frequency. This is the love frequency that I show you later on my music video that I put in my video Veronica. It's also called a miracle tone and frequency of transformation. It has transformation effects on the human body, and it helps to reduce stress, the stress hormone cortisol in our body, and an increased amount of energy. And I just need to keep going. The 639 hertz enables us to connect and balance interpersonal relationships. The 741 hertz is good for solving problems and awakening intuition. Also, it's very good because it cleanses us from electromagnetic radiations. 852 hertz raises awareness and a return to spiritual order. Also opening up for communication. The 963 hertz is awakening intuition and activating pineal gland. It's also called pure miracle tone. And yeah, it's like a little bit like similar to what you probably have heard in yoga. It awakens the crown chakra. Right. Why is this so important for the future? Like Edgar Cayce says, sound will be the medicine of the future. So I think it is important for the future because we are entering a new age. After the pandemic, I think we are all aware that we are creating a new future, a new system for humanity to survive, in which we have to wipe out all the negative and combine positive aspects of the technological progress we have so far. And as we human beings lost connection to nature, like we need to get like back the ecological and nature aspect in order to save not only humankind as a whole, the planet, but also to save human beings individually. On the whole, society, members of the society have to learn how to love themselves again so they can love each other. Like the revolution of love means like spreading the emotion of love so we can overcome war, aggression, and fear. We are entering a new age. It is called the fourth or fifth dimension on a universal scale, which means we are becoming more aware of ourselves and our surroundings. Human beings open, like through the, we are already reconnecting with nature again. We are becoming aware of, like we are eating more healthy. Like we have a vegan food trend that we have a trend of yoga. People become more aware of themselves and maybe in some ways also go back to ways of life before capitalistic times. Like I think also growing your own food is becoming a trend. And all in all, and also during the pandemic, people spent like 1.5 years with themselves, like thinking about themselves, what are my goals? And like, I think people change also with technology, the possibilities we have, like the human body, the human mind, how we function as human beings is totally would change. And this transition goes hand in hand with the creation of an ecological place for future humankind. We're still trying to rescue our planet for the future. And I said before, as an individual, we need to find balance between nature and technological progress. The cultural ecological crisis asks here for ways of reintegrating human beings into natural life cycles and create a balance between nature and technological progress. For a sustainable future, it is central to examine the very nature of who we are and what our role is in relation to the natural world as human beings. Like, we have not nature versus technology, we have to bring them together. And societal level, members of a society must be able to first heal themselves emotionally and psychologically, especially after what we went through. And we need to develop a so-called ecological subjectivity or ecological self before change can occur as a whole. And here I use the term biophilia. Biophilia here is our intrinsic love for life. And it's an innate tendency to focus on life and lifelike processes in which human life is enriched by its broadest affiliation with the natural world to increase the possibility for achieving individual meaning and personal fulfillment, a sign of mental and physical health. And here, we have love is here, the love of life, like the revolution of love. I mean here, the love of life. And love as the base, as empathy can overcome aggression and destructivity, or the hunger for happiness in modern consumerism. I think I have a spelling mistake here. To prevent eating ourselves alive, the development of human subjectivity must be grounded in loving relationships towards the human being, him, herself, and others, and nature. But as we are all nature, so we have to relearn how to love the life in ourselves and in others and in our environment. What has music to do with all of that? So what I want to say is, like, through sounds and rhythms, we can connect our mind, our body, our spirit with nature again. When we look at sound and music, like, the form and expression of feelings is music's primary task. Like, music has natural ties, and it serves as a reconnection to nature for human beings, like especially sound frequencies processed in humans' minds. Music functions as an emotional connector to an invisible and ceaselessly transforming layer of this world, namely the earth itself. Like, through music, we can connect to the bigger things. And music is defined as a special art form in which tunes and sounds are arranged to a special form. Here I come back to the solfeggio numbers, and we have like this natural formula which you can find in the little structure of little plants in our molecules and in music again. And this special formula means like beauty, the beauty you see, which calms a human being. In music, we find these mimetic imitations of elements of natural soundscapes. They can be traced, and like, you can feel inspired. In human minds, music is processed via its emotional effects, and hereby we have the connection to nature via sound frequencies. Like, also the emotion, like through the emotion that we get through music, we can have biophilic feelings, like a feeling of being alive. Because of music's ability to produce severe emotional reactions, it can be therapeutic, purifying, enveloping, and liberating. With its implementation, mental health can be restored receptively as well as actively, and music therapy can therefore be applied to heal individual ecological traumatic illnesses resulting from self-destructive behavior towards our environment as well as our inner distorted selves. Active music therapy means expressing and perceiving one's feelings in musical improvisation with the aim of solving inner conflicts, or in receptive music therapy, inner feelings are approached and accepted in a process of acoustic association and remembrances. Right. So, I'm running a little bit out of time. I have 5 minutes left. So now I'd like to show you an example where I use sound frequencies in the song Veronica, and I use the love frequency. It is a totally normal song. You probably won't recognize it, but it's there. Just want to show you how I do that. Okay, whoops. Oh no, sorry. Oops. Okay. Sorry. Okay. I remember that when you left for a while. I remember that when you left for a while. The sky was full of colors. Go away, the sky. Friends were smiling while the sun was rising. Show me all the flowers, blossom one we love. Show me all the flowers, blossom one we love. I remember you left for a while. I remember when you left for a while. Since you left, my soul's ruined. Don't know where I'm going. Since you left, I'm so missing. I hope all is well with you. You are so far away. This paradise is taking you. Remember when you left for a while. Now remember when you left for a while. Okay. Okay.
So, thank you, Monica. We have a question. If you can answer it like in a very,
Okay.
very fast way. We have
Okay.
had two questions. One is from Emma Rosing that asking, how do low vibration
Mhm.
relate fear and high vibration to joy and love?
Uh,
Do they induce these emotions?
how do low vibrations relate to fear and high vibrations to joy and love? Do they induce um, low vibrations? Well, it depends. Like I need to measure it. Like yes, you can't really generalize it. Need to check like what number, like what exact hertz it is. But like yeah, they definitely induce like joy and love. um,
Okay. And she is also adding to the question, are these vibration frequencies, are sound, or something else?
about how vibrations are these. Oh yeah, I'm like I was talking about frequencies, like the frequencies, like the waves.
So, yes, they are frequencies.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, another question, one last question. Are the solfeggio frequencies related to the seed of life?
To the seed of life. I'm not so familiar with the seed of life. If you can give me more information on that.
Okay, not me neither. It's not my question. But of course, if Kevin wants, he can find you in social networks or maybe on Swapcard. He could um, have a session with you, a talk one-on-one, where we may get more deeper about it.
Okay. Yes, wonderful.
Okay, well, thank you,
Thank
Monica. It
you.
was really nice. Thank you for this soft end with this beautiful song. And wish you the best and see you soon.
Thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed it. I'm
We
coming
enjoyed
later to
having
the
you here.
conference tonight. So see you in real
Great.
time. All right, bye.
Bye.